Today I'm going to show you how to make a round dome-shaped silk flower arrangement the way that I make it. The supplies that you're going to be needing are going to be 20 flowers, 10 in one color, 10 of another, and try to get them about the same size. And then you're going to need a whole bunch of filler flowers. These are the little pansies, daisies, baby's breath, anything that's small to accent. You're also going to need a bunch of greenery. It comes all together. Okay, I like to use this one. This one is called leather leaf. The reason I like this one is because the leaves have points, and these are going to be really good so that you can put them around your container. The other thing, of course, is you need a container, any round container. It can be flat bottom, or it can even have a little stem. And then, of course, you need your Styrofoam. And I put a link underneath so that you can see the other videos on how I tell you how to prepare your container with a Styrofoam, and another one that tells you how to cover your Styrofoam with Spanish moss. Okay, so let me put these aside. Oh, and before I forget, some really good wire cutters, essential to cutting all the wires, the flowers off. And then you can go on the internet and look for this little clock, because I'm going to be showing you how to use the clock method to insert your flowers and your greenery. Alright, so let's get started. So here I've prepared my container with a Styrofoam, and here it's also prepared, but this one has the moss. And you don't always have to use the moss, but it's up to you if you want to cover the bottom. There's going to be some arrangements that you'll be able to see the foam, so you want to cover it. But in this case, since we're going to cover the base with the leaves, you don't need the moss, and you'll see at the end. So don't forget to go to that other video that shows you how to prepare your container with your Styrofoam. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is, I like to cut everything out and just have it prepared and ready to insert into my Styrofoam. So for your leaves, you just take a leaf, take one stem, pull it back, and you're going to cut it from the very bottom. And you want 4 of these cut out. Okay? So you want to cut 4 of these out. I've already cut mine out. And then, of course, on the flowers, the same thing. You take your entire bunch, just bend it over, cut it at the end, and do the same for all 20 flowers. And then your baby's breath, you could cut out about 4 of these also, just so you can have them ready. Same thing, just bend them back and snip them, and just have them ready for when it's time to insert them into your arrangement. So okay, so looking at your arrangement or at your container, you're going to look at this and imagine a clock. You have a 12 o'clock, a 3 o'clock, a 6, and a 9 o'clock position. And that's how we're going to insert our leaves and our flowers. Alright? So, starting at 12 o'clock, I'm going to take my first leaf, and I'm going to pull these down, and I'm going to cut it from the bottom, just leaving these 3 on there. The reason I do that is because this serves as a point so that I can put them on the clock positions. Now, if your stems are too long, when you insert, you can always clip them back. You don't want to have all your stems coming to the middle and bumping into each other. but you definitely want to have enough, at least 3/4 of an inch to an inch, so that you can insert it into your styrofoam. Now here, if I insert straight in, this leaf will be too far high up, and I want it to kind of droop a bit. So I just bend the wire a little bit, bring it down, and then I'm going to insert it right at my 12 o'clock position, and it's going to touch the rim of my container. So just straight in till it butts up against the 2 other leaves, just like that. So I'm going to take another one, and I already have these cut out, and same thing, just bend it a bit so that it droops over, and I'm going to put it into my 3 o'clock position or my 9 o'clock position. Remember, touching the rim of your container, push it in all the way. Okay, do the same for your 6 o'clock. Don't forget that it touches your rim. And last one, it's on your 3 o'clock or your 9 o'clock, however you're looking at it. So then this is what you have. You have your 12, your 3, your 6, and your 9 o'clock. All right. Next, we want to go ahead and insert some leaves in between the clocks positions. So we're going to insert one right here between the 12 and the 3, between the 3 and the 6, between the 6 and the 9, and the 9 and the 12. And so basically that's all 4 corners. So what you do is, you've got this leaf left over. I'm going to cut also now at the base of this one here, and I'm going to use those 2 for my first corner. So don't forget, bend it a little bit and keep it close to the rim. Right on the corner, you just insert it and adjust it just so that you can cover that corner. All right, you have this piece left over. If for some reason you have a long stem at the top, just clip it off and bend it. Put it in the next corner, right here, touching the rim of your container, pushing it back, adjusting your leaves. Here's another one, and don't forget, if you have a long stem on the top, just cut it off. Trim this so it's not too long. Bend it and close to the rim, push it in. There you go. And then we're going to do the same thing for the last corner. Okay, so this is what it should look like. Okay, perfect. All right, so now we're going to go with our first tier of flowers. Whenever you use 2 shades of the same color flower, you want the lighter shade to be the first tier, and then the darker tier goes next. Now if you're using 2 different colors, you can look around to see how they work together. And if you're not sure, just look at your furniture. The guesswork has already been taken out, where you have furniture that has combination of colors, or even party napkins, they have combination of colors. They'll give you a clue of what colors go good together. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and use the pink. So I've got the bright and the light pink that I'm going to be using. And like I mentioned at the beginning, you want to make sure that these flowers are similar in size. I've already got some cut out, only because your spacing will be more equal when they're about the same size. So you're going to take your bouquet, same thing, just bend it back and you're gonna snip. So go ahead and snip all of your flowers, and then I'll come back and then I'll show you how to insert them. Okay, so now I've cut out all my flowers, 10 of your dark pink and 10 of the light pink, and I've cut about 4 stems of my little filler flower. So like I had said before, using your clock, okay, we're going to start at 12 o'clock and we're going to insert the first flower. Now I also have a link on the formula on how to calculate how long to cut the stems on your flowers. Okay? First thing, on 12 o'clock, right where you insert it, your leaf, you're going to go right above it and you're just going to insert it right towards the center. So that's your 12 o'clock. Then you're going to do the same. Make sure these are straight. For your 3 o'clock, this one's a little too long, so I'm going to snip. So right above the leaves that you inserted earlier, you're going to insert it right into your 3 o'clock. You're going to do the same for your 6 o'clock. And then your 9 o'clock. So this is what you have. Okay. And just like I mentioned before, on your clock, you're going to go ahead and put now a flower in between each clock position, which is your corners. First corner, right where you inserted the leaves, you want to go above it and straight into the center. And you want to try to keep them all at the same level and same space in between. These are flowers, so it should look a little more natural, so it doesn't have to be exactly spaced, but as closely spaced as possible. Here's your second corner. That one didn't want to go in. Then your last corner. And this is what you should have. See there? It's forming the circular shape. So remember, it's circular dome shape. So the first layer of flowers has created the round shape. What's going to create the dome is the position of the following flowers. We have 8 flowers here. These last 2, which make it 10, will be inserted at the end. So starting with your darker flower now, these are going to be inserted in between the pink flowers. I have to snip these just a little bit more. But instead of going horizontally, this time you're going to go at about a 60-degree angle. And like I said, in between your flowers, you're going to come on top of your styrofoam and you're just going to insert and place it there. So you're going to do this throughout the entire arrangement, going in between, inserting on top, close to your edge of your styrofoam. Okay. We have a few more to go. We're going to have to adjust some of these. One more. Okay, so just look at them, and if you have to adjust them, make sure they're not too high up. Go ahead and adjust them. Turn it, and you can see the second layer of flowers, how they also form the circle. All right, so it's starting to shape the dome. So now we have the center open, and here's where you're going to put your remaining 4 flowers. So as we started with a pink at the beginning, you're going to start with your pink, and you're going to insert one at 12 o'clock, kind of tall, and one at 6 o'clock. Make sure these are straight, like this. Then one of the darker ones, you want it at 3 o'clock. And the other one, you want it at 9 o'clock. And that closes up your dome. And so that's what you have. Okay. Now, this is where you're going to look at your arrangement and try to figure where you have gaps and holes, and you're going to put in your filler flower. So here's some holes, some gaps that you want to cover. That's where these flowers come in. You don't have to use the whole stem. You can pull some of them off or cut them off so that you can keep the wire. Just push some of these up, cut, and we're going to cover this first little hole right here. So just stick them in there, spread these open, and there you have that little hole covered up. So you take the remaining flower, and same thing, look around to see where you can stick them in, and just fill in any gaps that you think are necessary to fill. And cut another one. And remember, you don't want to fill it with a lot of the filler flower. This is just a little accent, okay, to fill some of those holes. And I'll insert it and turn it around so you can see where I put it. Another thing is that if you want, you can also take your glue gun with some glue sticks and glue these in place. It's up to you. I don't, because they're pretty secure inside the foam, but you know, some people like to stick them in there permanently, and you can definitely do that. Okay, see now? You don't have to put a whole lot. And if your flowers are facing too far down or drooping, just bend them up so that they can face up a little bit more. You can go adjusting whatever you think you need to adjust. And this is what your dome round shape should look like. Okay. These are beautiful for dining tables or even for living room tables where it's going to be seen from different views, and that's why it's called round. I hope you enjoyed this, and be looking out for other videos where I will show you how to do a triangular shaped arrangement and a crescent shape, and we'll see what else I have in store for you. Thank you.